Hi once again, and I'm back here to talk about the new article that has come in my NLP blog. So I thought let me give you an introduction as I promised last time. So in that article, basically I'm talking about something which is at the heart of NLP and which is an outcome based thinking. So what is an outcome based thinking will be the topic of this video also today, and how importantly it differs from the other way of thinking that most of us indulge in, which is a problem based thinking. So this is what we'll be talking about. So there are two frames. One is the outcome frame and second is the problem frame. So let's first understand what is a problem frame. Now problem frame is typically when it's common across everyone. In fact, like whenever we are faced with a situation or a challenge, we get into a problem mode, which is essentially when we start asking questions like, okay, what is the problem? How long is the problem happening? Why has it not been solved so far? Who created it? And why are you not solving it? So questions like these. So what these questions do typically is that if you even sit back and reflect, they would lower your energy. So you will be in a very not even if you're not in a negative mindset, but you will energy will get lowered, and in that lowered state of energy you would not be in a position to think creatively about solving those problems. So it's said that the mind which creates the problem cannot solve it, so that's why it holds very true. But this is the default mode in which we approach any situation or a problem, irrespective of the situation. It could be a work situation, it could be a situation at your home. So this is the mode of thinking that most of us indulge in, and the consequences are not so exciting. What this frame also does it that it puts you in a blame kind of a mindset. You start looking for reasons outside of yourself. This happened because xyz didn't do that, because the situation is like that, because the economy is bad. So all these things actually come in the way of thinking creatively. Now let's contrast this to the outcome based thinking, which is the topic for today. So when I say an outcome based thinking, in that you ask a very simple question: what do I want? What is it that I am looking for? So this puts you in a very positive mindset, because here your mind is now looking creatively at finding solutions instead of just focusing on the problem. I'll give you a very generic example. Now just sit back and think about a jumping white kangaroo. A jumping white kangaroo. Just think about it. Now I find out that thinking about a jumping white kangaroo is very bad for health. So I would say, please stop thinking about jumping white kangaroo. Now please stop thinking about it. Are you still thinking about it? So I hope you got the point that you cannot not think about something without first thinking about it. So that's the challenge with the problem based thinking, because you're thinking about not doing something. So instead you just start thinking about what do you want to think about. So in this case it could be think about a white elephant, thinking about something different. So this is what outcome based frame is. And it's very useful for you to actually move towards something instead of moving away from something. So let's say if you have a situation, a smoker, he wants to quit smoking. If you say, I want to quit smoking. So what is the picture which comes to our mind? Someone smoking. Similarly, when we say, tell our child, please don't go out. So the mind is looking at him seeing himself going out. So instead of that, you tell people what do they want. So in case of a smoker, he should say, I want good health. In case of a child, say, please study. So state things in a positive way, like what is the outcome that you want, what is the end result that you want. So start using that. Now this frame is very useful for achieving anything that you desire. So there is always a gap between what we want and where we are today. So that's the in any situation, like if provided you want to improve or you want to change the situation, there is always a desired state and there is always a current state. So to move from a current to a desired state, the starting point is state what do you want. Let's take a very generic example here. Let's say if somebody wants to become a great cricketer, or so in this case, it could be a very long drawn process. So the first default mode which comes to mind is the challenges. Oh, how can I be a great cricketer? Because I don't have a right bat, I don't have a good coach. So all those don't start coming out. So these things you can start converting them into outcomes. I don't have a good bat. What is it that you want? Ask, what do I want? I want a good bat. So that becomes your sub outcome. I don't have a good coach. So what is the outcome? Search for a good coach. So this is how you convert the problem situations or the barriers into the outcomes. And so you can break down a bigger goal or a bigger ambition that you have into start by asking what are the challenges, then just reverse those challenges into outcomes and start delivering that. So such is the power of this outcome frame, and this applies not only to a work situation but to any situation. Even if you are a homemaker and you say that I want to improve the quality of our life, so now what are the challenges in improving quality of our life? The first question by default, then okay, it could be that any issues that you list, then convert those issues into outcomes that you want. And one outcome could be we have dinner together. That could be one outcome that you're looking at. We spend 10 minutes reflecting on how the day was. We talk to each other. So these are some of the things that you would actually come out naturally if you focus on the outcomes and ask the question, okay, what do we want to create a good environment in our house? So that's the question that you need to ask. So outcome based thinking, what I wanted to say was, is a very powerful concept, and it always, the tasks that you would do when you have very clearly defined outcomes would be full of energy, in contrast to a task when you don't have a very well defined outcome. So when you are focusing on the problem, I have to solve this, why this is wrong, so the task that you will come out will maybe a stopgap arrangement, but they won't have that level of energy which you will have when you are focused on the outcomes. So that's what I just wanted to introduce this concept to you, and I elaborated it in quite detail so that the understanding is more clear. And so I hope this you found this to be very useful and relevant, and to as it is applicable to any context, as you can see. So please do read the article. In the second article and the video, I would be explaining in detail how do you create a well-formed outcome. So there are certain steps that you can do and apply. So that will take this journey to the next step. So till that time, enjoy yourself. Have a great time. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.